Good morning. Can everyone hear me in the county jail?
Yes,
Excellent. My name is Barbara Jo Bell. I'm a county court judge here in Hernando County, and you are here for first appearance. The purpose of first appearance is so that you're informed of the charges against you. I will determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause means it is more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person that committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this morning, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations, and that presumption of innocence will stay with you through every course of the proceedings, unless and until the office of the state attorney is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. I will set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, which is your bail or bond. In most cases, you have a bond set already, pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, under the warrant that led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised, lowered, or remain the same, and whether or not there will be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. I'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you would like the services of the Office of the Public Defender, I'll gladly appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You're advised that you have a right to have contact with folks on the outside. That includes family, friends, and counsel. Finally, and most importantly, you are advised that you have an absolute right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. For the reason Assistant State Attorney here in the courtroom with me this morning, that if you attempt to say something to incriminate yourself, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. Now may you please have each and every one of you raise your right hands to be sworn. Raise your right hand, sir. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you so much. When you hear your name, may you please step forward to the podium. Ms. Hurd?
my name's James Hernando.
Good morning, Ms. Hurd. May I please have your date of birth? May I please have your date of birth?
2163.
Thank you so much. I have 6 charges for you this morning: battery on a law enforcement officer, possession of methamphetamine, resisting an officer without violence, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and knowingly driving while license canceled, suspended, or revoked. I did find probable cause for all 6 of those charges. Are you going to represent yourself? Hire a private attorney. Would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
I'm going to get a private attorney.
You're going to hire a private attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, would you like me to appoint the Office of the Public Defender so you can have a lawyer working on it? And if you hire a private lawyer, you just need to let them know.
I have no idea what you're saying.
I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
I can't understand you again, sorry.
It's okay. How about I appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you? If you hire a private lawyer, just let them, don't let the public defender know, okay?
Okay.
So we have a lawyer working on it. And so may we please have her history?
06 DUI, 98 DUI.
Thank you. And Ms. Hurd,
Yes, ma'am.
I have an address for you on Blackbird Avenue in Weeki Wachee.
And now I just moved my new license is Norwell Road in Spring Hill. That's
Norvell
the one
Road?
you said was suspended.
Okay. And you live on Norvell Road in Spring Hill?
I'm sorry?
How long have you lived on Norvell Road in Spring Hill?
A few months.
Okay. And do you have any family here in Hernando County?
I have a sister.
You have a sister?
Yes.
Are you working, ma'am?
No, ma'am. I'm on disability.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond as to count 1 at $5,000.
Okay.
Set your bond as to count 2 at $2,000. Set your bond as to count 3 at $1,000. Set your bond as to count 4 at $250. Set your bond as to count 5 at $250. And set your bond as to count 6 at $250. And so they're going to see you back in felony court on July 25th at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Ms. Jacques? Good morning, ma'am. May I please have your date of birth?
January 11th, 1990.
Thank you so much. I have for you today 4 charges: battery on a person 65 years of age or older, resisting an officer without violence, assault on a law enforcement officer, and battery on a law enforcement officer. There's probable cause for those charges. You're going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or would you like to assist the Office of the Public Defender?
Public defender, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
No history, Judge.
Thank you. And Ms. Jacques, I have an address for you on Long Lake Drive in Hudson.
Yes.
And how long have you lived there?
For a long time. Couple years at least.
And do you have family in Pasco County?
Yes.
Do you have any ties here to Hernando County? Do you have family here? Do you work here?
I have family and friends there. Yes.
Okay. Are you currently working, ma'am?
I can't right now because of my eye.
Okay. A condition of your bond is that you're to have no contact with Miss Denise Clark.
That's okay.
And let me explain no contact to you. No contact means no contact of any kind. You may not call, you may not write, you may not email, you may not text message. You may not go where they live, you may not go where they work. You may not contact them through a third party or social media. That means that any way that you might imagine having contact, I forbid you to do so. For if you did and the court found out about it, the court can revoke your bond and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if that person wants the contact. So for example, if you're out and about and you see that person, you should walk away. If you pick up the phone and you hear their voice, you should hang up. As for your home, if you were sharing a home with that person, I will allow you to go by one time. That's with the assistance of law enforcement. So what that means is you'll need to contact their Pasco County Sheriff's Office and arrange a time to have a deputy meet you there so you can grab your belongings. I'm gonna set your bond as to count 1 at $1,000. Set your bond as to count 2 at $1,000. Set your bond as to count 3 at $500. And set your bond as to count 4 at $5,000. They're going to see you back in court on July 25th at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E here in the courthouse in Brooksville.
What's the answer?
July 25th at 1:30 p.m.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am. Ms. Mayo?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. May I please have your date of birth?
2791.
Thank you. I have for you today a failure to appear, and that's pursuant to a KPS that was signed by Judge Hitzman. Are you going to be representing yourself, hiring a private attorney, or would you like to service the Office of the Public Defender?
Public defender, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
There is an offer in this case of adjudicate time served in court cost, Judge.
Thank you. So, Ms. Mayo, if you would like to resolve your case this morning in front of me, the offer from the Office of the State Attorney is an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, and then the standard fine and court costs to include the cost of prosecution, cost of defense, and then cost of those 2 days in the county jail. Is that something you're interested in today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so can I see you raise your right hand in front of me? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And may you please tell me your full name?
Ashley Rose Mayo.
And how old are you?
I'm 32.
And can you read and write and understand the English language?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that by entering a plea, you are waiving your right to a trial by jury, to confront the witnesses against you, and to any further discovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're also waiving your right to have the state prove this case beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
And in case 23 CT 314, to the charge of driving while license canceled, suspended, or revoked, how do you wish to plead? I plead no contest.
No contact.
I'll accept your no contest plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in our county jail with 2 days credit for time served. We'll assess the standard fine and court costs to include that cost of prosecution, cost of defense, and cost of incarceration. Madam Clerk, is that $450? And that's $450. I would encourage you to come to the courthouse here in Brooksville within the next 2 weeks to set up a payment plan to pay for those fees, fines, and costs. If not, that will be something else between you and a valid license.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if there's nothing else holding you in our county jail, you're subject to release today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mr. Boyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. May you please have your date of birth?
12/18/1961.
Thank you, sir. I have for you today a charge of exposure of sexual organs. There's probable cause for that charge. You're going to represent yourself by a private attorney. Would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
I have a private attorney, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to bond out.
2023 felony fleeing or attempting to flee, driving with a license suspended, no motorcycle endorsement, no motor vehicle registration, resisting an officer without violence, exposure of sexual organs in 2022, DUI, 2022 exposure of sexual organs, and then some 07 weapons offenses in New York.
Thank you. And Mr. Boyer, I have an address for you on Meredith Drive in Spring Hill.
That's correct.
And how long have you lived there, sir?
About 6 years.
And do you have family here in Hernando County?
Yes, I do. I have a brother, and we both co-own the house together.
And are you currently employed?
I'm retired, Social Security income.
A condition of your bond is you're going to have a GPS monitor.
A GPS monitor?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because this is not your first rodeo with this charge. So,
That's fine, no problem. Whatever you gotta do, bond out for 5,000. I get out today with Gene Hood.
okay. So you're going to have the GPS monitor. That's at your own expense. Okay, and if you,
And where can I go with the GPS monitor? This is a civil infraction of indecent exposure, man.
it's
It's a
not,
civil ticket.
it's not civil, so
Yeah.
you're in criminal court.
Yes, it is a civil ticket.
No,
My lawyer will tell you that.
Okay.
But where can I go being ankle bracelet? For being naked? I don't understand. I did my time in jail. You can't make me do more time for this. When you ran me, what came up, Your Honor? One felony bicycle ticket, and I did 8 months in jail for it.
I think it's great that you're telling me what I can and cannot do.
Misdemeanors,
You're going to
Your Honor.
have a GPS monitor as a condition
Okay,
of your
fine, ma'am.
bond. I know
At
it's
my
okay.
expense, not a problem.
Okay.
Can I get out of here today and be bailed out?
I'm still deciding if that $5,000 is appropriate, because I don't know if you were listening to that speech. I get to determine whether or not your bond is going to be raised, lowered, or remain the same. And I'm not sure you can keep it the same. I just heard your criminal history, and it's quite expensive.
How much is the bond?
Okay. Also, I'm
I'm just here with prudent. Okay.
I'm gonna keep the bond at the 5,000.
Okay. No problem,
Again, you're gonna have that GPS monitor.
And where can I go with it?
I'll have your attorney explain that to you.
Oh, okay, well, I have to hire an attorney. Okay?
If you'd like, I can
No
appoint
problem.
the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
No, ma'am, I'll hire a private attorney, but, right, I gotta go to court when? The 24th of July?
They're gonna see you in court on, July 25th at 1:30
Okay.
PM in court.
So I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna hire a private attorney.
Yes, sir, good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, now shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, yes. Shut your mouth.
Mr. Fowler,
Good morning,
good morning, sir. May I please have your date of birth?
July 27, 1975.
Thank you, sir. I have for you today a charge of battery. There's probable cause for that charge. You're going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney. Would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
Yes, to the public defender.
Yes, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Just has a long list of trespassing and drug charges going all the way back to 2016.
Thank you. And Mr. Fowler, do you live here in Hernando County?
No,
Where do you live?
Pinellas County?
Pinellas County? Do you have an address for me?
No, not currently. That was my last known address.
Your last known address is Pinellas County?
Yes, Your Honor.
What brings you here to Hernando? You have work here? Do you have family here?
Yeah, I was attempting to relocate.
Attempting to relocate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you coming here because you have family here?
And I had hoped to find some family here, but I wasn't sure. I tried to verify the information, but it wasn't clear.
So a condition of your bond today is you're going to have no contact with David Galeo. Okay, the person that you are alleged to have battered, the victim in this matter. Okay? Did you hear me describe no contact earlier?
No, Your Honor.
No contact means no contact of any kind. You may not call, you may not write, you may not email, you may not text message. You may not go where he lives, you may not go where he works. That means you may not contact him through third party or social media. So any way that you might imagine having contact, I forbid you to do so. Or if you did and the court found out about it, the court can revoke your bond and you can be held without bond until the charge is resolved. It means no contact, even if he wants the contact. So if you're out and about at Wawa and you see him, you should walk the other way, which you probably shouldn't even be there, because I believe that's where he lives. If you pick up the phone and you hear his voice, you should hang up. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. So I'll see you back in court on July 29th at 9 a.m. in courtroom C here in the courthouse in Brooksville.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mr. Gajwad? Good morning, sir.
March
May I please have your date of birth?
19th, 93.
Thank you, sir. I have for you today a charge of possession of ammunition by a convicted felon. There's probable cause for that charge. You're going to represent yourself. Hire a private attorney. Would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
To the public defender.
Yes, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
In Florida, just this year, he had a dropped petty theft burglary trespass. In Georgia, 23, possession of a controlled substance. In Ohio, early 2000, burglary. And in MI, which I know I've
Michigan, maybe?
been wrong before about what state that was.
Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri?
One of those. He also has some early 2000s controlled substances, burglary, and dealing in stolen property.
Mr. Godbot,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't really have an address for you. So do you live here in Hernando County?
No, not at all.
Where do you live?
I live in Michigan.
You live in Michigan. That's that, MI. All right.
Yeah.
And what's your address in Michigan?
4429 Hard.
And what brings you here to Hernando County? Do you have family here? Do you work here?
I was on my way back up from Miami. I want to go see some kids that I had. I know they had a little trouble down here, so I check on them when I come down. So I found some ammunition on the ground. I put it in my pocket. I get pulled over by y'all sheriffs.
Sir, this is the public defender. Please do not keep confessing. You have a Fifth Amendment right. Please use it. Do not confess.
He's trying to remind you, remember I told you, you have that right to remain silent. So, I would prefer that you didn't tell me about those facts and circumstances surrounding this case. I just wanted to know what kind of ties you have here to our county so I can establish bond. So that's why I asked, do you have family in this county? Do you work here? So I know whether or not you're going to come back.
Not at all.
Okay, not at all. I'm going to set your bond at $10,000. We're going to see you back in felony court on July 25th at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E. All right, thank you. Good luck to you. Mr. Hart? Good morning, sir. May you please have your date of birth?
12/2/59. Good morning.
Thank you. Mr. Hart, I have for you a failure to appear, and that's pursuant to a KPS that was signed by Judge Merritt Jr. Are you going to be representing yourself in this matter, hiring a private attorney, or would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
The public defender, may I say something, please?
I would encourage you to exercise your right to remain silent. I can tell you that regardless of what you tell me today, I'm going to keep the no bond imposed by Judge Merritt Jr. And then if you would like a bond, you can discuss that with him. But today I'm keeping the no bond.
I bonded out, my court date was the 23rd. I bonded out through the bondsman. They saying I missed court the 21st. My court date was the 23rd through my bondsman. She told, she had the thing, I got a reminder, I can call her and she'll verify that I had a 23rd court date.
Yes,
I
sir.
got a 21st.
And if you would please be so kind to let your lawyer know that, and they could discuss that with Judge Merritt Jr. in hopes of getting you a bond. But for today's purposes, there's a no bond pursuant to that KPS. As he's the judge that presides over your matter, I'm going to defer to him. I'm going to keep that no bond, and I'm going to see you, Madam State.
July 11th at 1:30.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the date given to me by the office. So I believe
Okay.
I have that as a toner A docket. Sorry. I just have to-
July 11th,
At 1:30.
1:30 p.m. courtroom E. Thank you. All right, Mr. Harper. They'll see you July 11th at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Jabril?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. May I please have your date of birth?
04/27/1996.
Thank you so much. I have several matters for you this morning. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases. The first case involves one count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fine. Okay, I was listening, 6.
Do you have 6?
Only got 5 people.
I only have 5 cases.
It might be 6 counts because one of the cases has
Has
2
two,
counts.
but I have
Okay,
5 cases.
I'm sorry about this.
Okay. Just make sure we're all on the same page, Mr. Jabril. I have 5 cases for you this morning. The first case involves 1 count of retail theft. And this is there's probable cause pursuant to a warrant that was signed by Judge Hitzman. Are you going to represent yourself in all 5 of these matters? Would you like to
Yeah,
serve in the
public
office
defender.
of the public defender? Yes, sir. I'll appoint the office of the public defender in all 5 of your matters. The second matter I have, again, is a case that involves 1 count of retail theft. Again, there's probable cause for that. The next case involves another count of retail theft. And I'll appoint the office of the public defender in all of these. There was probable cause for that one as well. Then the fourth case I have for you is a case that involves 2 counts, 1 count of retail theft, another count of resisting a merchant. Again, there's probable cause for those charges. And then the last case I have for you is a retail theft. There's probable cause for that as well. I'll appoint the office of the public defender. State, may I please have Mr. Jabril's history?
2023, reckless driving reduced from a DUI. 2016, child abuse without great bodily harm. 2014, battery, resisting without violence, possession of marijuana. And
Your Honor, he is currently on probation. I just don't know when the dates of these events happened.
One of them happened just yesterday.
Yesterday? Then yes, the VOP will be coming.
So, Mr. Jabril, did you hear Ms. Nettie from probation?
I didn't hear her.
She said that you're currently on probation, and because one of the cases involves an allegation of a crime that happened just yesterday, that will violate your probation.
Okay.
And when that violation...
So what happens then?
When the violation comes in, it's a no bond. So though I'm setting bonds for you in these matters, you may not want to waste your monies getting out.
Okay.
Okay? So, as for when you're not incarcerated, I have an address for you on Novice Street in Hudson.
Yes.
And how long have you lived there?
Over a decade?
And do you have family there in Pasco County?
Yes.
Are you currently working, sir?
Yes.
What do you do for work?
I work for a company for, we rent and haul dumpsters.
Okay. As for the first case, 24MM1732, that involves 1 count of retail theft, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000.
Okay. So if I'll be able to bond out today, right, if I pay that?
But again, well, you have multiple cases. I'm going to set the bond in all of these. But again, sounds like there's a warrant coming for you for violation with no bond. So you're going to post those monies to get out to just come back on a no bond.
Is there a way we can resolve that without having to come back with no bond?
No, sir. Not
Okay.
today. The next case I have for you, 24MM1737, that involves that 1 count of retail theft. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000.
Okay.
As for the third case, 24MM1733, that involves 1 count of retail theft, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000.
Okay.
As to the fourth case, that involves the count of retail theft and resisting a merchant, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 as to the retail theft and $1,000 as to the resisting a merchant. And as for the fifth case that involves that new charge of retail theft, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500.
Okay.
They're going to see you back in court on all of these cases on July 29th at 9 a.m. in courtroom C.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Mr. Llewellyn?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
May I please have your date of birth?
12/2/57.
Thank you so much. I have for you today 9 counts of retail theft. There's probable cause for all 9 counts. That's pursuant to a warrant that I signed. Are you going to be representing yourself, hiring a private attorney, or would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
Public defender.
Yes, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
No criminal history.
Thank you. And sir, I have an address for you on Newmark Street in Spring Hill.
Yes, Your Honor.
And how long have you lived there?
13 years.
And do you have any family here in Hernando County?
No.
Are you currently working, sir?
Disabled, but just switched over to, they said, what is it, retirement. But I'm still disabled.
I'm going to set your bond. $100 per count.
Okay. How many other, I'm sorry.
There's 9.
Okay.
And they're going to see you back in misdemeanor court on July 29th at 9 a.m. in courtroom C.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Phillips? Good morning, sir. May I please have your date of birth?
8/27/82.
Thank you so much. I have for you today a charge of violation of probation, and that's pursuant to a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. Are you going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney?
PD.
The PD, all right. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. There's a no bond associated with that warrant. Yes, sir. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that no bond and state, do you by chance have a date for Mr. Phillips?
The 25th at 1:30.
Okay. July 25th at 1:30 in courtroom E.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Mr. Stokes?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Mr. Stokes, I have a warrant for you out of Sumter County for 2 counts, dealing in stolen property and defrauding a pawnbroker. The bonds associated with that warrant for those charges are $5,000 per count. If you're unable to bond out, we'll give Sumter County 5 days to come and get you.
Is there any way, because I do have a job and people that do depend on me, is there any way that you'll be able to lower the bond at all?
No, sir, not today. I'm just
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
let you know that there's that warrant for you out of Sumter. There's those 2 charges. The bonds associated with those are $5,000 each. If you can't bond out, we will give Sumter 5 days to come and get you, and one of the judges there will address that with you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Mr. Swinson.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. May I please have your date of birth?
4/18/94.
Thank you, sir. I have for you today a failure to appear. That's pursuant to a capias that was signed by Judge Toner. You're going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney. Would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
Public defender.
Yes, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. There is a no bond associated with that capias. I'm going to keep the no bond. And Madam State, may I please have the date?
The 25th at 1:30.
So we're going to keep you on that July 25th at 1:30 p.m. date in courtroom E with Judge Toner.
Yes, ma'am. There's no offer from the state for me yet. This is an all case in me.
No, sir, because you're here at first appearance, and my jurisdiction is county court, so,
Alright,
so you gotta go see Judge Toner for that.
alright, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Valentine?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. May I please have your date of birth?
It's 03/30/1999.
Thank you, sir. I have for you today a violation of probation. That's pursuant to a warrant that was signed by Judge Hitzman. Are you going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
I would like to represent myself.
Okay. And so there's a no bond associated with that violation. We're going to keep the no bond, and we're going to bring it back to court on July 29th at 9 a.m. in courtroom C.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And jail, I believe that concludes our